Welcome back to more Monster Train, everyone. Here we are. Tried a challenge last time, but for now it's time to go back to random. Get rid of the challenge and just play a regular run. See if we can get another win streak started. So let's go and see what we're gonna play. Looks like we got Exiled Hellhorns, that's the Imps, and Default Umbra. Pretty interesting, so lots of tiny units to play around with. And we have our Shardtail Queen, of course. And let's see, we got Vent, nice early card. Lets you clean up big floors of weak units. Perils of Production can be good if you have a reliable source of morsels, it's just kind of free energy. And Branding Right has been growing on me. It can be a way to make your tanks a little bit tougher, so not too bad. Let's see what the relic brings us. And we can either apply extra armor or apply daze to top units. And let's see, our boss is weakening, so they won't be attacking us on the top floor if we pick up Light's Gift. Could be pretty interesting. Railhammer does have some synergies, but we don't have many with it yet outside of Branding Right itself. We don't have any of the armor imps or any armor cards, so I think I'll just pick up Light's Gift. Nice early relic. Let you get some free hits in on the top floor. And let's see what we've got here. We can either make our imps cheaper and get one every turn, or we can kill our imps to deal a bunch of damage. Kind of interesting. I don't think I've ever made this version of the Queen work particularly well for me. It just seems a little harsh to, because you can't use the imps to cover and also kill them to kill their units. So I usually tend to go for this plus the other one that gives you extra attack when you summon imps. Tends to be a little bit better in my experience, though. I acknowledge there's something here, and with the right deck, this could definitely be powerful. But for the moment, I think I'll go ahead and grab extra implings. We can just go ahead and deploy a lot of them, and hope that gets us somewhere. Additional armor for a unit draft. We have the Queen's Implings to deal some amount of damage, so we'll probably leak a few here with doing this, but it should be alright. And I think I do want to play the Queen in the middle, so that I can play additional imps at cheap cost where they matter, and just deploy some stewards up here at the top. And the vent's not going to do a whole lot, so let's just deploy one down here, clear out some armor. Of course, immediately get another one. Oh, that's not a great spot for the collector to appear, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Let's see. Yeah, because of the priest here, there's no way we can get to it. So I'll just go ahead and play 3 imps in the front. Just to clear this unit out, and we can maybe deploy a morsel. I think health is probably appropriate up there. And why don't I do this down here for a little bit of extra damage? Almost want these imps to die now. So perhaps this combined with the destroying all imps is a pretty good one, but for now, just play more imps. Let's see, we can peril something for additional energy. Certainly worth it. That'll let us play a big vent, maybe. Oh, I should have put that on the front unit, because if I do a big vent here, it actually kills this guy. So then we'll be stuck with the Ember Drain. Let's see, I could choose not to kill it and play like a Shade Splitter. Maybe that's better. Just do it like so. And these guys should hopefully be able to deal with a lot of this. This means I have to play an imp link up top in order to eliminate both, but that's totally fine. We'll just play one. I guess in the front, eliminate these units. And then here, let's give this guy some additional rage, and then give him some stuff in the front here. Okay, this one not too good. Let's just go ahead and eat that for next turn and play some imps here. Ooh, branding right's kind of interesting. Certainly gonna play imp, and then yeah, this should buy us a lot of extra time since we can do it. And yeah, that in fact kills, so perfect. Alright, so got through the first fight with the trial and with no damage. That's about the best you can hope for. And our options are a ritual battle, hornbreak, and another vent. The third vent's probably a little excessive. Hornbreak's kind of an interesting one. The piercing on it doesn't matter pretty often. It can let us clear out an armored unit so we have our imps hit something a little bit more important. Ritual of battle can be good, but we don't... Well, we have the perils of production to grant us a little extra energy. So that could be good, but I think I'll go for a simple hornbreak for now. And here, lots of interesting choices. I like packed morsels in general. It lets you fuel a gorge unit pretty well right off the bat. Making up a morsel, of course, gives you that really solid morsel. And cave-in can be pretty strong, letting you combine floors. So, a little difficult to know what we're going to need or want right now. I suspect we're going to want room in front of the Shard-Tailed Queen to keep summoning imps, so I don't know about cave-in right off the bat. I think I'll just go for the packed morsels. It's the most sort of solid card. Ooh, this is tough. I want all three of these on the same floor, ideally. Let's see, we are going to an Umbra Banner next. And the boss makes us weaker. I think I like Alloyed Construct here because we picked up the Lights Gift. The fact that it's missing, or that it doesn't have that much health, is a lot less relevant than usual. It'll only matter for the boss phases. So I'm pretty happy to have this as our Gorger and have it put out quite a bit of damage. Don't have too much money, of course. Let's see what we can do. Ooh, okay, well, I wish I picked up one of the morsel-related units, because of course we get 2 more Gorgers here, and I don't think we can support them, so I'm just gonna have to skip. It does allow me to purchase a large stone if I'd like, which is not insane. Makes us take up 3 slots, so we still have some room to put morsels behind it, and if we find something like a morsel maker or morsel master, we have room for those as well. So maybe that's a reasonable thing to do, and gives us a little more health for the boss phases, a little more attack to begin with. Let's give that a go. And here we have stronger enemies, and they have haste. Again, because they're stunned on the top floor, I'm not so concerned, and our imps can do some good work in the meantime, so I'll take this one as well. Alright. Well, the smaller floor down here is a little bit awkward. Yeah, certainly have to play our robot, and vent just makes a lot of sense here, so I guess we'll still go Queen on the bottom, and just go ahead and vent. That being dazed actually sort of convenient here. And here just play some imps to eliminate units and take some fire. And of course packed morsels looking great. Go ahead and give this thing some fuel. And I guess we'll power up a steward here, just because. I'm happy with both these dying, I think, so let's just do that. We're already on respite, okay. Didn't draw any morsels, which is quite bad here. I do like playing another steward here, but beyond that I think we don't play anything else. Alright, and again we'll play a couple of implings. Unfortunately, didn't get a way to eliminate this, so our middle floor is not going to accomplish much. But with just a little bit of fuel, this should handle the boss. So, not too worried. And yeah, we're killing, and we can even apply 2 more, of course. Alright, there we go. Could use some money rather than all of these additional unit drafts, but it's okay. Alright, Molting Imp. It's an imp, so we can play it for free, and the AoE is kind of nice. Then Hidden Passage, Ritual of Battle. Again, I don't know how good moving units around is going to be, just because we need room with both of these right now, so we're going to want to actually keep our floors pretty separate, I think. So I'm not too interested in Hidden Passage for this run. So it's between these two. I'll take one more AoE, I think it's good. And then Lifesteal, Perils, Mind Collapse. Nothing too exciting there. I could take a Mind Collapse. It does a good enough job of eliminating some units and refunds mana. I'll take it, but that's probably the last of the crappy damage spells I'm in the market for. Okay, here's a Morsel Master. That could go well with our robot to just go ahead and double any morsels we put up there. I would prefer a Morsel Maker, but even both could maybe work at some point. These guys are going to be a little bit tricky at the moment. We don't have anything to put in front of them, so let's pick up the Morsel Master. It should do an alright job. It'll be a little awkward if the top floor is only 4, but otherwise it should be pretty decent. And here we can pick up another banner and a duplicate versus a Merchant of Steel. Not that worried about the Merchant of Steel. We don't have a lot of money, and the Alloy Construct already got one pretty solid upgrade. So I think this might make more sense. I'm just trying to figure out what I might duplicate. Might just be the Packed Morsels. Probably, yeah. So let's see what we find in the banner first. Okay. So, choice between a tank and a DPS here. It's a tough one. It's definitely a tough one. This is only an okay tank, so that has me a little less excited. We're getting an Umbra banner next, if we want one more banner. Umbra tends to be, I guess, a little more tanky than DPS-y, if anything. Though they usually need Gorge synergies to really do much of anything. I'm gonna take the Rail Beater, but I'm not excited about it. And let's see what we can find here. Oh, is this the 5? No, this is Purge and gain a card, okay. That I'm certainly happy to see. We have lots of train stores we don't need, so let's get rid of them, see if we can find anything exciting. Rare Hellhorn or Rare Umbra. I'm gonna go for Rare Umbra. Looks like the kind of run that could use that, and Shroud Spike is absolutely perfect. Love that card. Now we're really on the lookout for the artifact that buffs our X spells. And in fact, I may now Hellvent that instead of anything else. It's just a really powerful effect. double exploding explosives. We do have some ways to eliminate them with the imps and so on, so I'm not that worried. Probably still want Shardtail Queen on the bottom so we can keep deploying imps to clear stuff out. Though it is going to be slightly awkward this particular floor because we also want an imp here to go ahead and eliminate this bomb. But our queen should survive, so I'm not that worried if she takes a little damage here. And then we'll just do this. Peril's unfortunately not helping very much. Another bomb, a little bit scary, and we're getting unlucky on finding our big robot, but we'll get there eventually. In the meantime, let's see, definitely want to play an imp here. It's unfortunately not enough. Let's figure out if we can save our queen here. So one of these doesn't quite do it, but two of them will. We could play one up here. No, playing one up there doesn't save much anyway, so I think we'll play both these here and just save the queen. Alright, well we found an AoE which helps. Definitely have to get the robot going. And let's see. I can actually play both imps here for free, so that's good. And then still play a Shade Splitter to go ahead and get our robot some fuel. Vent, unfortunately not doing much, but it's okay. This middle floor obviously pretty worthless right now. Might even die, but it's really all about the top floor for the time being and just doing a little bit extra work with the imps. With the bomb being stunned is pretty interesting. So here, of course, play a couple of imps, and that sets us up pretty well. And then play this, figure out which one of these we want to consume the most. Do I want lifesteal or attack? I think just more attack is good. Alright, that's fantastic. And then I will give the queen lifesteal. That seems pretty excellent. And this guy can go ahead and have some attack. And let's see. Do want to kill this bomb if I can, which shouldn't be that hard. And then also this one. So let's go one imp here, one imp here. I guess no harm in playing that. Kill this bomb, and we're almost on the last wave, so I'll play this train steward. Just to cover for our queen a little bit more. And of course play one more imp. Do just a little bit of damage. Really need to find more fuel, though we're at 7, so we're actually totally fine. I'm not going to be able to fit anything else up here, so I guess I might as well play one of these. We do need to find one or two more ways of making some morsels, and some better ones than what we're getting out of the Shade Splitters would even be ideal, but even these are totally fine for now. We're mostly just looking for fuel. Alright, and yeah, no morsels again, but we're doing okay. Our robot just hitting very, very hard. Let's see. Wretch is a way to get morsels, but it's a pretty awkward one. Forever Consumed and Umbra Stone are both interesting to me. I don't mind giving this Trample. It's doing quite a bit of damage, so making sure that it can eat through some of the weaker units sort of for free is pretty good. Forever Consumed, just another X spell that we can sink some mana into. Seems pretty strong, so I think it's a close pick between those two. We have so many X spells already. I would really love to pick that artifact up if we can find it somewhere. But without it, I mean, we still have the perils. I think it's worth trying for here. Alright, and now we can pick up a Branded Warrior as a DPS. That's not very exciting. Obviously don't want a second Rail Beater or really a Crucible Collector to go with our Rail Beater, so I think it's a skip. The Branded Warrior is just not what I'm looking for here. And as far as this goes, obviously with the lots of X spells, energy is definitely nice. Card draw is just always good as well. We are having trouble getting to our Shade Splitters, so... And our Queen does make imps free, at least, so that's kind of not a concern. So I think I'm going to go for card draw for now, but I can see both being decent. And then I'm probably going to go ahead and head this way, try to pick up one more unit to hopefully do something with this Rail Beater. See whether that gets there or not. It's your artifact first. Okay, so Abandoned Untumbra is perfect. That means we are no longer going to have any morsel issues, since we really only need one a turn. So that'll let us start cutting Shade Splitters out of the deck, maybe. Whereas the Rage doesn't really do anything, so that's fantastic. Let's see what upgrade we find. So we can either add what's the Rage Imp instead. So we can either have Rage Imps, or we can action to kill Imps and deal 20 damage. We get a little bit extra health as a result. Both are interesting. Making sure there's always room for additional Imps has some upside. And obviously this lets you clear out some of the weaker units. Whereas the Fledgling Imp means we'll be getting Rage on the Shardtail Queen, which obviously is pretty good. Maybe we just play her with the Rail Beater and like put one Imp in front of them. It's not very exciting. I'm gonna try this other build. I have no idea if it's any good, honestly. Alright, we have an Overgorger and a Morsel Maker. Now that we have the Umbra, we could potentially support an Overgorger. Though, it's not really a great combo with Rail Beater, obviously. Morsel Maker is pretty fantastic. If we can fit it, we can go Construct, Morsel Maker, Morsel Master on the top floor, and that's kind of insane. So I'm just going to do that, and you know, this Rail Beater just ended up being a little bit of a dud, I think, but that's okay. We'll be able to feed it some of our excess morsels, and it'll pick up a little bit of slack. Alright, so once again we have the aggressive trial, and again our top floor is the main one that matters, and they're going to be stunned up there, so I don't mind this at all. It might mean our queen runs into a little bit of trouble, but I think that'll be fine. Okay, so we did get a smaller floor at the top, which is somewhat awkward. On the plus side, we're guaranteed to draw the construct next turn. I've talked about this a lot before, but I guess if you haven't seen my other videos, there's a mechanic in Monster Train where you are always guaranteed to draw at least one of your non-starter real minions. So not imps, but stuff like Alley Construct. Because we drew so many of them in our opening hand, we're guaranteed to get the robot next time. So I can set it up with a morsel maker, which is going to be dazed this turn, so he won't make anything, and then I'll have room to plant down the robot, and like they kind of do their thing up there. So that is a thing I'd like to do. In the meantime, the queen wants to be played. Right, and we have a morsel as well. That's kind of fun. Let's see. Yes, that means the middle four won't get set up for a while here, but not much we can do about that. Definitely. Well, I have to decide if I'd like to play this in the front or in the back in order for it to actually get killed. I think what I might do is spend my remaining mana to play the Morsel Master. Then I can play this further in the back and get a double morsel in the front to protect. So that should be good. Alright, here again we do get our robot, so these two should be totally fine on their own. In the meantime, we can play another imp and play another double morsel, I guess. Even leaves us with a little bit of extra energy to do something else with. Like kill this guy. So this works out okay. It's letting us kill some of these annoying units. We drew our Shroud Spike, that's potentially helpful. A Mind Collapse here as well. Let's see. So yeah, definitely want to play one imp, and let's go ahead and Shroud Spike the attack morsel up here. Make sure we get extra attack and lots of fuel going. Let's see, they're going for 12 and 7. That is a lot. But I think I'll go ahead and just eat the damage morsels. It's kind of the same thing. They either protect this turn or next turn, but whatever we get next turn can still protect, and we'll have damage shields, so it feels better. I don't know if it is. Maybe I could have snuck a Mind Collapse somewhere in there too to do something, but is what it is for now. Okay, here we can do a vent. Let's see. Certainly one inkling makes sense. We can perils for lots of energy. And at that point, I can even play another impling. I guess I'll get a Train Steward down. Vent. Protect the steward. Alright, and we're in pretty good shape. Want to leave one spot here, so let's just see what's in the Shade Splitter. Okay. And go ahead and play some more stewards. Alright, Molting Imp is a pretty nice pickup here. Let's just go ahead and clear these guys out. So that'll be good. Let's see. We have Perils, of course. Might as well play those. Let's find out what's in the box. Ooh, Lifesteal's pretty good. Yeah, why don't I go ahead and make double Lifesteal morsels, and then play Branding Right as well, and give these guys one energy, I guess. It's doing pretty well just on floor 1 here. Oof, it's a rough hand, but luckily we can play it all. top floor, of course, basically invincible against the likes of something like this guy. Alright, that went pretty well. We can pick up a second branding right, a battery ram or an flame. I don't think I'm too interested in any of those. They're just a little expensive for what they do at the moment. So I'll take a skip. And here, cannibalize, not too interesting. Again, we're not going to have too many issues with morsels, given the Untumbra, or the abandoned Untumbra that's giving us a morsel every turn. Feast is a little more interesting. Could let us stack up a little, or a few more morsels in combination with packed morsels, for example. Ember Cache I'm not too interested in. It's generally only good when you have some good synergies with casting spells, which we do not. I'll try a Feast. I don't know that it's incredible, but it should do something for us. Alright, so we can pick up more money, a Hellvent, and an artifact. Don't know what I would duplicate at this point. A third Shroud Spike isn't insane, to be totally honest. We could also pick up maybe another Morsel Maker, that's pretty good. So those are fine, and then we get an artifact, or I think the remove though is pretty good, and we have lots of money, so hitting at Merchant also makes sense. So we can get rid of some Train Stewards, maybe power up a few of our spells. That seems decent to me. Let's just go ahead and cut these guys. And then check out this before I head into the cave, I think. Remove Consume on Spike Shroud is okay. I guess I can combine it with the -1 energy and then it becomes decent. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So, go ahead and just make that non-consume for the same price. Pretty decent. 20 magic power and consume. Maybe Mind Collapse. That way it can generate energy for us. It's not been super impressive on its own. Permafrost. That's pretty good on Feast. It's okay on the Shroud Spike as well, though we can generally play that card. 10 magic power I like on Hornbreak or on Vent. And then the cost, we'll find something for it. Let's check out the cave now before we spend the rest of our money, just in case anything changes what we need to do. Like if we pick up another spell, for example. So I could pick up Petty Theft and give it +10. We're on floor 5 at this point. I think at this point the gift is going to be the best. Yeah, and we'll just try to get a nice turn where we can play our perils and play it for something like 6. That's pretty darn good. But yeah, for now I'll just add magic power to Vent and reduce the cost on something. I could reduce the cost on the gift. It would be spending 25 gold in order to make 15 more. Probably not what I want to do, honestly. I think the Forever Consumed is pretty nice. That's just an extra 30 damage on it, so it can deal 30 for 0 at that point as well. Let's see, where are we heading next? Merchant of Steel is pretty sorely needed, so we'll probably go that way. Hopefully we'll get the money, though, from this gift, so I'm willing to spend a little bit more to purge here. Maybe get rid of the last of the stewards. Just that's not in the way. I'm not going to spend the money on the permafreeze. I don't think it's quite good enough for the price we would have to pay there. And we have enemies on each floor. Our pyre is in decent enough shape that I'm willing to do this. Worst case, we take a little damage, but we might find something like a Vent or our Molting Imp and be able to kind of deal with them. So it's a risk I'm willing to take because the absolute worst case just isn't even that bad. Okay, smaller floor on the bottom again. Yeah, we could use some extra energy during the setup phases, I will say that much. And maybe I could Shroud Spike's Rubble Morsel, just for that specifically this turn. So for 0 energy, I can play the Queen, the Morsel, and then do this to gain a bunch of extra energy. That's probably what I have to do here, so... just debating if I even want to do anything. Like, I could just set up the Queen on the middle floor and this on the top and just sort of ignore the bottom. So really just strands the rail beater, which is totally fine. I think that's what I'll do. So we'll go Queen, Rubble Morsel, consume it 6 times. Then we get to play Construct, Morsel Maker. Play an Imp. I do want to kill these guys with the Imp, so let's also play this. Let's see, this will survive a couple of hits, that's nice. Play that. Play an Imp in the back, and then play these in the front, I believe. That should kill them all. Alright, so that's a pretty good turn 1. Unfortunate that we couldn't use our spike to get extra fuel, but we have the other one that doesn't consume, so that's fine. And yeah, these guys dealing 6 is just not much of a big deal at all. Okay, now the Morsel Master wants to probably go ahead and join on this floor. And that'll generate 4 morsels every single turn, which is great. So this floor is completely self-sustaining now, and man, I don't know about this rail beater. I guess I can play it. I do want room here, so I mean, I guess I'd just play it on the bottom and like start feeding it some morsels and stuff. It's not amazing. Here, oh man, alright. Here I think just some imps in the front make a lot of sense. And then play an energy morsel, of course. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd rather deploy this than not. If it dies, then it dies. It's okay. Go ahead and I think just play this. Well, to prevent 2 damage, that's not really a lot. Let's go ahead and get the energy from it instead. And just figure out what to kill. I do want these dead. Killing one of these kind of only makes things worse, so I guess we'll just deal 5 damage there. Alright, this is... Oof, there's a lot going on here, let me tell you. Probably just gonna use the Shroud Spike and not a whole lot else. Obviously play some imps, but... let's go ahead and Shroud Spike on attack here. So that's a bunch of fuel, and it makes the robot really strong. That's fantastic. Oh, I could have Perils first. That would have been way better. Well, too late now. We'll play a couple of imps, which are, of course, going to die, and that's totally okay. Here we get to deal 20 and get some energy back. I guess I'll do that here. Let's see, this hits for 90, which is a lot, and we can get extra energy as well. So let's go ahead and kill, then get extra energy. Play a Shade Splitter. Just play these guys. Yeah, so really other than the top floor, we're kind of just barely staying afloat right now. Of course, this guy's completely unimproved, so there's that, but... let's see. Feast doesn't really accomplish a lot here, unfortunately, because there's just not room for anything else. But that's fine. Molting him down here makes a lot of sense, though Vent accomplishes the same for 0, I guess. Let's see. Because these will all die anyway, so I don't need to worry about anything with that. Let's see what's in the box. More energy, fantastic. I guess we'll do it like that. More imps, more morsels. Do something like this, I guess. And unfortunately, don't have room for the last one. Alright, there's the boss, and there's our gift of gratitude. Unfortunately, we didn't draw it with any of our perils, so I have to decide exactly how greedy I am about that. I think I can afford to be greedy and hold on to it for now. Don't think we can draw it again. We don't draw quite enough cards for that, I don't believe, but... let's see, I would like to kill this. It only takes a single charge there. Yeah, there's not a lot of great ways to do that, unfortunately. Let's just see what we can find. Okay. Give this some buffs. And then eat an energy morsel. I guess I have to play this first if I'd like to play it. Make this unit. And I guess I don't want to eliminate that one. Though I'll end up doing that next floor anyway if I play any imps, so I guess it's not a huge deal. Alright, well there's a Shroud Spike and a Perils, which is good. So... I go for health now. This Harpy is going to hit pretty darn hard. So let's do this into this. That's the maximum energy. Yeah, okay. So that gives us a lot of health to work with, and obviously infinite fuel at this point. And I mean, these imps aren't going to do much, but they'll get hit. Alright, and there we are. Important work's pretty good. We have lots of imps generally, and while we do want to sacrifice some of them for the champion's effect, being able to gain some energy and draw a card's pretty decent. Don't really have a lot of armor synergies, and Tiresome Climb can be good, but I don't think it's quite what we want. Yeah, I'll take the important work. Shroud Mitosis is close to being good, but as we saw there, the final floor is gonna often have just issues with overall limits, like the unit, the 7-unit limit. We could maybe do something with it on another floor, though. I think engine upgrade... Well, engine upgrade, is that better? It's better if we can set up the perfect top floor, then we can remove a spot there pretty happily. Yeah, let's try it. Once everything's deployed there, we don't need the space anymore. Alright, let's see what we've got here. Extra energy. Yeah, this is great. So the consume... We have like 2 consume cards, it's fine, but as I mentioned, we're having a little bit of energy issues in our early turns, so being able to do this is great, and also lets us generate energy off of playing imps, and yeah, it's just really good. Alright, do we want endless on anything? I could make an endless rail beater and just sort of use it as this weird tank that comes back. It doesn't leave much space for our champion to actually summon imps, but it does mean I can kind of toss it in the front and make sure an imp survives each turn to deal damage. So I don't hate that. We just have attack and battlestone. Those can pretty happily go on some of these just back units to do a little bit more damage. I think I'm gonna try this. It's been a little awkward. Maybe I pick up extra space or something. Yeah, this rail beater's just not doing much otherwise. Okay, Quick's pretty... Well, is Quick good? Maybe Quick's not that good. Again, this is on a floor where stuff's gonna be stunned anyway. So I think I'll just add a little more attack here and a little more health to this guy, even though he's endless. I would rather... I didn't have to play him every single turn. So we'll try that and not worry about the Quick. And then maybe head this way next. Something like that. I do still have lots of money, so I don't mind paying for the remove, maybe. And the Shade Splitters are looking pretty bad at this point, I think. So let's go ahead and cut one of those. Okay, so we're off to fight the second boss. And let's see what they bring us. Smaller bottom floor, okay. So we'll be looking to deploy at the top and the middle. Excuse me. Yes, we can throw the Morsel Master out there, give him some morsels, play the Queen. This is the repeatable Shroud Spike, so I'll definitely use it. I think I want to see... Okay, energy's not very good. I guess we might as well still get multiple, why not? But yeah, we'll just get a bunch of shield here, why not? Does do something. And I guess save the Molting Imp for now. Alright, not too worried about spells. Let's see what we can do here. So, I want to play all this stuff up here. So, we gotta go Construct. Play this in the back since this ended up getting a bunch of shields. Alright, now our top floor is settled. And here... I can play one of these. Go ahead and sacrifice it. Okay, there's a Gift of Gratitude for 6 if we'd like it. That's pretty good. It means no rail beater though. So I have to decide where I stand on that. I think I'm okay with it. We set up the top floor pretty nicely already, so I'm not that worried. I'll just play these imps, play a morsel, and gain 240 gold. that's a slightly awkward one to get. Means we can't play imps there without upsetting things too much. So maybe I take this turn to blow my packed morsels. Oh, probably shouldn't have Incanto on that floor, but likely just gonna do this anyway. So it didn't end up mattering too much. And here, I guess I'll get some of these. One of those. I guess there's no reason not to go ahead and deal some damage. And none of this really matters. I just don't want that floating around my deck. Alright, and yeah, now we can pretty happily do an engine upgrade on this floor. It's totally fine. Play a few more imps. Barrels. End up with even more energy here, that's okay. Branding right. I don't know, I guess just a robot is fine. Okay, there's our Shroud Spike, that's pretty good. Let's think about how we want to handle this. Yeah, I guess we'll just spend our energy here. Go ahead and build up lots of attack. Let's see, this could kill something if I wanted it to. I want the energy refund. I don't think it matters, so let's just do some damage here. Don't mind a spell restriction on this floor. Let's go ahead and maybe play the imp in the back. That seems okay. Make sure it gets sacrificed. Toss one of these in the front. This deals an obscene amount of damage, so that's totally okay. Just throw some of these in the front to eat damage, and then kill you. Seems pretty good. Alright, we drew the Shroud Spike again. That's fantastic. Let's go ahead and max out energy here. I'll get the Rail Beater down this time, even though I don't think it matters. So that actually makes extra energy anyway. And consume 16 of this. Seems pretty good to me. Boss. Let's generate extra energy, even though I don't think it matters much. Wow. It's not doing a whole lot for us, but it's fine. Yeah, we're really pretty much one floor. The rest of them are there to help us along the way, but at the end of the day, this is our floor, and everything else is not really too relevant. This robot should just wreck the boss, hopefully, in pretty short order. Often the Imp Queen ends up pretty powerful if you can pick up the upgrade that gives you additional strength for rally, but since we can get there this time, she's not really doing a whole lot in terms of damage. But our robot's doing plenty, so I'm not too worried about it. Forever consumed Kindle Reinforce. Well, it's not Reinforce. Do I want a second Forever Consumed or a Kindle? The Kindle makes our other X spells better, obviously. And the Forever Consumed just is another X spell. We do have plenty of turns where we have lots of energy, so I don't necessarily mind a second one of those. I'd rather have a Kindle. I think because we picked up the Hell's Banners, our energy is pretty much fine, so I'll just take another X spell. And here I am actually going to take the capacity. It means we can always deploy this on the top floor, even if that's the smaller floor. And then we can fit Shardtail Queen plus Rail Beater plus like 2 imps each turn, which is pretty good. So that'll end up being strong for us, I think. Alright, now we have to decide between Merchant of Steel plus Remove versus Merchant of Magic. A little bit of extra cash. In terms of the Steel Merchant, we have 1 slot left on Morsel Maker, 1 slot left on Alloyed Construct. So 1 visit should be fine, so we just have to decide if we're going to do it here or the next time. And on the next floor, it's paired with a Hellvent, which is probably good. Getting, say, a second Shroud Spike would be pretty strong. So I think I don't mind waiting, and then we'll just go for the Remove, and, excuse me, we'll do the Merchant of Steel next time, so that means we're going to the Merchant of Magic this time. That seems good. Take a quick look. Consume, okay. Let's see what these do. Okay, so this just makes her a little bit stronger and deals 30 damage per imp instead of 20, whereas this gives us Rage Imps instead of the other ones. Neither of these excite me much, to be honest. 30 damage instead of 20 doesn't really matter. We're mostly doing that to eliminate support units, so that's going to be enough regardless. This gives us a little bit extra health to just kind of survive early. This gives us more attack, and the Fledgling Imps means we'll build up Rage, which sort of does something. So I think I'll go with this one, but neither is great. And I'll check the caves before I go to the Merchant. Let's see what we can find here. Okay, Melting Remnant consumable. Can't even remember what that is. It can't possibly be good here. I don't think any of these are great. Let's just grab the Hellhorned one. 2 random imps. It's not terrible. The random imps can sometimes be better than the imps we're generating. Yeah, I'll take it. It's fine. It's not great. Woken. Yeah, we don't need a Wildwood Sap. I guess we get all 3. Certainly don't need a Hollow Drippings. Alright, well. We got an okay card and 20 gold. It's not the worst cave. Though some of the late cave events can be really strong, so it wasn't great either. Alright, remove consume at 1 cost. So we could make our second Shroud Spike also not consume, and I'm kind of into that, I think. They're really quite excellent in our setup. 20 magic power and consume. Could put that on the other vent. We don't need the AoE all that much, so that seems okay. Let's see, Holdover. Now, Holdover is pretty interesting. Man. Holdover on Forever Consumed is pretty good. At worst, it's 0 mana, deal 30. At best, it deals quite a lot of damage. Holdover on Branding Right would be interesting if we could also say double stack it, but we're not going to be able to do that. It's 10 magic power, needs to go somewhere. I think I'll put that on the horn break. That makes it eliminate some of the heavier armored dudes pretty well. I could also put it on important work, that's just sort of free energy and extra card draw, but we do need to sacrifice imps to be able to do it. Perils of Production is also just additional energy. It's not bad. We do have a lot of X spells in our deck, so putting holdover on Perils is actually not insane. I have about 1, 2, 3, 4 spells that can eat lots of energy. Mind Collapse, I guess not as much. And I'm gonna get a Vent as well, or a Duplication, I mean. Versus just putting it on the Forever Consumed and kind of assuming we'll get energy some other way. I think I actually don't mind doing this. And this cost reduction can maybe go on the other Forever Consumed. It's fine. And we'll save the cash. See if we can't get a nice artifact thing at the end here. And I think I don't mind them healing fully. Our bottom floors are going to try to take out some of the support units, and the top floor should be able to handle the big stuff. So we'll go ahead and turn that on. Okay, well, this would have been a bad case, but thanks to our additional capacity, we're going to be okay with it. That said, this draw isn't incredible, but hopefully we can make it work here. Queen, Rail Beater. Certainly play one of these imps for some damage. Then I guess we'll play a morsel. And just give this additional armor. Sure. Alright, well, here's the robot. I do want to give it something. So that's kind of a big deal. And then let's see, the horn break wants to just kill that. And I guess we just play a couple of imps. Really only need one to survive. So I can do something like that. And I guess I could even vent. None of this really does a lot. The push there pretty useful though. Okay, so here's the other guys we need. Unfortunately, we're not killing here, and that does upset me quite a bit, to be honest. I wonder if I could fix that. So once we play our second unit, we get 3 energy. Let's see. So this 8 times on this is it's not quite enough, I don't think. But I should still do this, I think. So we'll go play a Magma Morsel, consume it 8 times. That's not unfortunately enough, but that's fine. Get 1 imp played down here, that gives us energy, which means we can then play these guys. And now I can even play an additional imp. But yeah, this is not great. Looks like we're going to be taking some damage to the pyre here. Oof. It's possible I'm dead here. I drew some Forever Consumed, so I'm not, but that's a really scary situation to be in right now. Alright, well, as is, play that. I shouldn't have played that in the front, because now we don't have a second one to put in the back. So that's not great. There's not a lot I can do about it at this point, so... okay, this doesn't need that much additional damage, so let's just go ahead and eliminate this one fully. Deal 30 here. And that's that, I think. I'll get these pack morsels out of the deck. They just aren't going to be doing much for us, unfortunately. Alright. It's doing fine up there. Draw perils. Definitely want to play one imp and make sure it's in the back this time correctly. I can give it perils of production, that's totally fine. Play one of these. Go ahead and eat that for energy. And then play these cards and play that. Additional attack, just to be safe. Our queen is stacking up a little bit of rage, so it's not bad. Let's see what's in the box. Okay, well, their helper is a pretty good one. Go ahead and play that one, sacrifice it, get the rage. And most of the rest of this doesn't matter too much. Drew another Shroud Spike, that's excellent. Here, this boss has Trample, right? So putting stuff in the front doesn't really do anything. May as well just play them in the back. Let's see. Yep, and then consume maybe some health this time, just to make sure we can survive through the boss. Throw this up here. We'll get to replay our Rail Beater next turn. Go ahead and play that for the heck of it. Forever consume as well. We should be in pretty great shape. Go. Robot just hitting absurdly hard, obviously. Alright, so we managed to get through that one. Took 50 damage, which is not exactly pleasant, but other than that hiccup, it went well, and we got a bunch of extra money out of it, so hopefully that'll end up being worth it. Pyre Chomper's actually interesting. Again, we have lots of X spells. We already have plenty of imps. I think I'll take it. Prism Retrieval, and nothing on what we're looking for with all the imps in the deck. Second engine upgrade and Grovel, also not too exciting. I think I skip on those. And yeah, I'm gonna look to duplicate one of our X cards here for sure, so let's go this way. Even though we could use the health maybe, I'm confident enough, and I do want to make sure we can check out this Merchant of Steel. Giving a third multi-strike to our robot is huge, so we'll do that for sure. And then probably just go 10 strength on this. We're happy enough with those results. Let's see what the merchant has for us. Damage shield 2 to the first friendly unit. First friendly unit summoned each turn. Rage doesn't decay. Rage doesn't decay is pretty good right now. Our champion's generating those rage imps, so that kind of does something. This would be good. Excuse me. This would be good, but I think our morsels will end up consuming this up. Unfortunately, the ones that are automatically summoned. So just because we're so rich, I'll take the collection of tails and let's see what else we find. Demons get multi-strike. I think that's literally only the rail beater who does 10 hull damage, so that's not too helpful, even though it's usually an excellent artifact. Improved Firebox could be fun. If we draw an Expel, it's certainly pretty good. And then Pyre Wall, just to make sure we are a little bit safer. I mean, it's those two versus some removes. Let's see what we want to Hellvent. So it's between the Shroud Spikes and the Forever Consumed. I think the Shroud Spikes end up being a little bit more important in the deck, so let's grab an extra one of those. I don't think this is as important since we picked up the Hell's Banner, so I'm just going to pick up the Pyre Wall just to be a little bit safer, and then purge one of the Shade Splitters we don't need. And there we go. We're off to fight. As much as possible, we'll want to try to deploy at least some units on the floor we're not using to get the boss to hopefully go over there and sap them instead of our real units. Okay, we got not a bad start, though we could use an imp obviously in this hand, but this is still alright. We can go play these two at the top, play the queen. Then this deals 120 right now. It's pretty good, but would rather. I think I'm better off putting this up here, getting the extra energy, and actually spending this just to prevent the damage. Maybe. Is 15 damage to the queen that important? I think it is. Pretty scary, but should be alright still. Rail beater in the front, this imp behind. Let's see, this is probably the time for packed morsels, I guess. We get to double up something on the top floor. Damage shield makes sense. It'll stick around until the boss phase. That'll be helpful. And here we can just get some extra attack. Probably this guy's gonna die, so the lifesteal's not too important for me. Deploy these at the bottom and just play all these cards. I think Hornbreak here is like pretty reasonable. Then we can vent and collapse there. Alright, there's the morsel maker. So that one's gonna go here in the back. And then let's see, we even have room for one more morsel, which is good. Okay, unfortunately I only hit these energy ones, but that's still okay. Go ahead and do that. Play these on it, consume it 20 times. Just for the fuel, and well, the energy doesn't really do anything, unfortunately, but here, one in the back, one in the front, looks good. Well, that's unfortunate. I should have maybe been paying more attention, but it is what it is. We managed to get through it. Man, really need these shade splitters to hit something a little bit better. Let's see. Still just more energy. Can I get anything else? Okay, great. So now we can do this feast. It's pretty nice. Play the attack one. Get extra energy. And now we're talking. Alright, now we shouldn't be leaking anything. Alright, our queen dying's obviously not great, but this vent will mostly take care of that. And yeah, I'll put this back here as well, that's fine. Draw a Shroud Spike again. I suppose we're expected to draw them pretty often here. I'll play an Imp in a box. Okay, Molting Imp is great. I guess to knock out a few of these guys. And then we can play a Fledgling Imp, maybe in the front. Pyre's great. And let's go ahead and give this some health, I think. These imps unfortunately can't survive down here, so I think we'll just spend all the energy on this. But I think we'll be just fine. And get this out of my hand. Not too worried about the sap at the top here. Oh, we drew the energy imp the one turn. We can't do anything with the energy. It's really unfortunate. But it's okay. Let's just see if we can't make the queen survive. Probably involves the smolting imp, I have to guess. Alright, this is perfect. He can die and come back. Just do that. These guys still can't survive, so not a lot of reason to play them. Alright, loads of X cards this time around. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, that's pretty nice. So we can play the rail beater, of course. Play this, and then start with that one first, which will generate lots of energy for us. For imps. Now we trigger this on probably an attacking one, I think. Just ends up giving us more bang for a buck with the multi-strike that we have going. Good lord. Okay, this is dealing almost 900 damage a hit. Shouldn't take long to kill the boss with that. And it's forever consumed, not really accomplishing a whole lot. Okay, so I think we'll be in perfect fine shape. This floor not really doing much, but it really doesn't need to either. So imps, some perils. Oh, we don't have a, okay. I thought this forever consumed was a, another spike. That's fine. Just play it down here. Iron Champion managed to make it to a respectable 80 attack. Pretty decent. Let's see if we can draw something. Cool. It's not a great series of draws here. But I don't think it'll matter given how our top floor looks. And the boss is extremely dead. Wow, we're really not getting lucky on our Shroud Spikes. That's unfortunate. Again, didn't end up mattering, as our robot just slays its way through Seraph here. So, thank you, robot, for carrying us on your large metallic back. Couldn't have done it without you. Of course, Light's Gift, is that what it's called? Yeah, Light's Gift, really contributing a lot, making sure we don't have to worry about the robot being too tanky. Taking damage during the previous phases of the fight would have made the end a lot harder there, but this just letting you get kills for free is pretty fantastic. So that was a fun run. I got to sure got to consume morsels a lot. Took a little damage there, a little oversight, but didn't cost us. So pretty solid win. Happy with that one. Got to test out the upgrade of the Queen and Sacrifice Simps. Can't say I'm too impressed. It sort of ends up, God, what was that unit? The Gorge deal 10 damage unit. Sort of ends up being similar to that, but even I think slightly more awkward, so. Can't say I'm looking to pick that one a lot in the future, but it has its place. It has its place for sure. So, yeah, learned something new. Got a win. Can't complain about that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.